Picture this. For more than a decade, football wasn't just about teams, trophies, or tactics. It was about one argument that never died: Messi or Ronaldo. Every Ballon d'Or ceremony, every Champions League night, every social media comment section revolved around those two names. You could name hundreds of professional players, but the sport felt like it was being defined by a single rivalry. Recently, we see the same thing happening again with debates like Yamal versus Mbappé. One is the established superstar, the other is the rising phenomenon, and fans already feel forced to pick sides. When conversations narrow down to two names, two choices, two rivals, you are looking at the perfect way to understand a duopoly. A duopoly, in economic terms, is when two companies dominate an entire market so strongly that almost everything revolves around them. Other companies exist, just like other players exist, but they rarely shape the conversation. These two giants don't need secret meetings or written agreements. They simply react to each other. When one makes a move, the other responds. Over time, this back and forth controls prices, innovation, and consumer behavior. One of the most intense real-world duopolies is Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. This rivalry goes far beyond soda flavors. It is about control. When Coca-Cola changes packaging, Pepsi adjusts its branding. When Pepsi secures Super Bowl advertising dominance, Coca-Cola counters with global campaigns and Olympic sponsorships. They sign exclusive contracts with restaurants, stadiums, and schools. That is why, when you ask for a soda at a fast food place, you are rarely given a real choice. You are choosing between two giants who already won the battle before you walked in. Another powerful example is Apple versus Samsung. Every smartphone debate sounds familiar. iPhone or Galaxy? When Apple removes a feature like the headphone jack, Samsung mocks it publicly, then removes it a year later. When Apple raises prices, the entire premium phone market follows. These two companies shape what consumers expect a phone to be, how much it should cost, and how often people upgrade. Smaller phone brands are not failing because they lack technology. They are failing because they are playing in a league controlled by two superstars. Gaming gives us another clear duopoly with PlayStation versus Xbox. Every console generation becomes a war of exclusives, performance stats, and online services. Gamers argue non-stop, but behind the scenes, these two companies define pricing, subscription models, and even how games are designed. Competitors like Sega tried to survive, but eventually they were pushed out of the race. So, a duopoly is like an endless rivalry that controls the entire league. It creates excitement, loyalty, and debate, but it also limits real choice. Just like football debates that reduce a global sport to Messi versus Ronaldo or Yamal versus Mbappé, duopolies reduce massive markets into two dominant forces. Everyone else is talented, creative, and ambitious. But the spotlight, the power, and the control belong to two.